Okay, to start off this video, let's actually talk about how I'm going to change the formatting in the videos a little bit. So I'm going to change the formatting just a bit. I'm going to make it a shorter form video where I say I'm going to do X thing, maybe I'll show a little bit of footage of me doing X thing, and then I kind of say, just trust me bro kind of approach, and then show the finished product. That is my current plan or idea right now, mainly because I just like playing Minecraft. You guys don't need to watch every last bit of Minecraft that I play, and I'm also now, focusing on college, so I have less time to do as many things as I would want to. So maybe it will also just help me with editing, just showing you a small clip saying, just trust me, I did this kind of thing. Anyways, I just figured I should mention that this video might be a little bit different, might be a little bit shorter, maybe just a few small clips. We made some end crystals, and we were also playing tag with the sword with MC, so there it is. We also went ahead and we were going to do some end city grading, but I forgot to show this in the last video. I believe we did this last video, where me and Savage dug this massive hole out. So here's the massive hole. It took us like, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. Just two guys, a diamond pickaxe, and a beacon. So anyways, now we'll go fight the Ender Dragon again. That's why we needed the end crystals. We went ahead and summoned up the dragon using said end crystals, and then we also killed said dragon. And then we also went through the new gateway, as you can see right here. Except disappointing to us, you might have noticed how close the two gateways were. Once it loads, you will find that we actually are right at where the first end city that we ever found on this world, which is pretty disappointing. So we actually are not that far away from where the other entrance takes us. As you can see, this is the end city. We destroyed it so that way we can make our end city in the overworld, but yeah. Anyways, we started marking which ones we rated by a course fruit and an end block, just so that way we know which ones we've been to. We got really lucky. We found a triple end city with a double ship, except actually it was 4 end cities because there's another one over to the left side that I was just a little bit too far away from seeing. As you can see, that one's over there. And actually, as I flew to this city actually turns out it was bigger than I thought, and it also had an end city ship with it. Unfortunately, the other one did not actually. Now, we found another one about 1,000 blocks from the last one that is also a triple end city with triple ship. But it turns out there was also 4 end cities. That's the main one that we initially came to. That one's an extra one, though. And here we are again. So, we found another end city. That's the initial one that we came to, and that's an extra one, once again. So, 5 end cities. Now, although our luck was good with those, we had to go another 2,500 blocks to be able to find the next end city, and I was getting kind of tired. As you can see, with there's also a gateway right there in the distance, so this is actually where we called it quits. Went ahead and after we raided it, went right back to the overworld, and we went ahead and did a loot check. So, we got a lot of iron, a decent amount of shulker shells. We got some diamonds, some gold, a lot of chests, honestly. A lot of horse armor that we don't really care about, honestly. And then we got 8 elytras and 16 instant health potions. We also changed the price so that way iron gear is cheaper. We also went ahead and moved all of the enchanted gear over here too, and actually changed the price of the iron gear. I already shared this, but anyways. We eventually also changed it to 3 for 1 diamond, because, well, nobody wants iron if you can buy diamonds, if you get it. So I went ahead and decided to start organizing, throwing all the shulker shells into one chest. We also threw some other stuff in here, such as the chest, the ender chest. We got obsidian, any dragon's breath. We kind of just threw like any valuable end loot basically into this chest eventually. And then any other loot that we got, we threw into the chest next to it. So any of the gold, any of the iron, etc., etc., we threw into the one next to it. Now, we did put all of the diamonds into my shulker box that we have inside my end chest, which I will promptly call my wallet, but I just figured I should say that. On a funnier note, I was complaining to myself about how long it takes to go down on Lawless Bacon's elevator, and I thought he did something wrong, so I tried wallstone, which is using walls to send signals down instantly. But the problem is actually the bubble columns is what takes the longest time, and he actually might be doing that, actually. So, yeah. So, we went ahead and we started looting, we looted a bastion. I didn't have it on recording because I forgot to record, if I'm not gonna lie to you. So we got plenty of gold blocks, we got a snout armor trim, and then we also duplicated a bunch of netherite templates. We wanted to go ahead and probably get some netherite gear and stuff. Now that we have netherite templates, we can do so, but they're kind of expensive. Like, pretty expensive to upgrade, I'm not gonna lie. Or to get more of them. It's freaking 7 diamonds each? Jeez. We also duplicated some of the snout banner trims, just so that way we can go ahead and make a full set with a diamond encrusted snout trim. Wow. Eventually we do get netherite, so it doesn't look as goofy on the diamond gear, Speaking of getting netherite, we decided we wanted to go TNT mining, which means we need sand. And in fact, sand is what we got. That's a lot. And thus we made a few stacks of TNT, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of TNT. And a little bit more, but And then I did a little demonstration that you can use Fire Aspect to light TNT on Bedrock Edition. They should add this to Java, but yeah, so we don't need a flint and steel. We're just going to use our sword as our flint and steel, which I think is really cool. Then we went ahead and mined a hole and placed TNT inside of it, and then we light it. And that leaves behind a massive hole for us to find some ancient debris in, which we did this for a little while. We used like half the amount that we had brought in. So we used, like 2.5 stacks of TNT? Something around there. So then we went ahead and decided to actually show an entire clip of me going back and forth. As you can see, we have 33 ancient debris, by the way. We got a decent amount. As you can see, we do have like 2.5 stacks roughly left, compared to the 5 stacks that we came in with, plus the 16. So, yeah, we used about half of it. Which means if we actually mined with all of it, we could have technically got an entire stack of, ancient debris. So then we went ahead and we just kind of showed like a tour of how long this was. And believe me, this was pretty long, to say the least. Because we did, in fact, use a lot of TNT for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed like my little tour around. So we went ahead and used one of the netherite chest plates that we got that dropped from a mob to go ahead and actually get a netherite chest plate, just because I realized that we probably also wanted a fortune shovel, not just a silk touch shovel. As you can see, I put the other chest plate in the ender chest, and then I went ahead and netherite up everything else. So I saw on the server that MC Squared had found a ancient city, and because I didn't care enough to use chunk base to go ahead and find one myself, I just went ahead and went to the coordinates that he had up, and I'm close enough to them that I did actually get into the ancient city. And as you can see, I threw the ender pearl just as I landed too, so I took more damage than I even needed to. Now I forgot I actually brought the TNT with me, which then became slight bit of a problem for like storage stuff. But we did go ahead and destroy most of the Shriekers. I'm pretty sure I destroyed like all but one Shrieker that I could find. The main reason because that Shrieker that I did find was like 10 blocks up or something in like a cave, and I just didn't care enough to go get it. The most important thing I got was 2 Feather Falling 4 books, and also a Swift Sneak 3 book, which is pretty cool. And an enchanted golden apple, which is also cool. And then we went ahead and did a little mini loot check, so as you can see, we got some stacks of skulk. We also have a ward armor trim in the bottom left corner, as you can see. We also moved some of the other things that we had, such as all the other trims and such, into here. And we also put the TNT into here. We got also a decent amount of regen potions, which is pretty nice. We also got 2 different hoes, actually 3 different hoes, all with efficiency 5 on them at least. And we also got, well, actually more than that amount of stacks of skulk, I just realized. But we also did get a bunch of sensors, which is pretty cool if we want to do redstone with those later. And we got a few music discs, and we also decided to make disc 5, now that we can at least. And then we also decided to check our shop out. As you can see, we got 6 diamonds from the health potions. And then as we check this chest, we got another 18 from the amount of gunpowder we sold. Swick. Then on top of that even, right, we also sold an elytra. Bree finally bought an elytra. They didn't take the one with their name on it, which is what I was realizing. And since they did put 10 diamonds, I know it had to be a first timer, and Bree asked where the elytras were and everything. So, yes, there you go. Bree has bought an elytra. And then we set up a resist 2 beacon and started fighting the wither. And then that's another beacon for us. Now, I haven't really done trial chambers too much, so I decided I wanted to actually go ahead and do it. So I broke the block, allowing me to go ahead and start the trial, and then I just kind of did that over and over again. I even brought an ominous bottle down eventually, and I made it ominous so that way I could get a mace. Now, the first thing that I actually got when I was doing this was actually an enchanted golden apple. Well, not the first thing, but I got it before I got the mace or whatever. And I also got a Windburst 1 book, I believe, which is, it's kind of meh. I wanted a Windburst 3, but nobody's gotten a Windburst 3 yet. Now, happily, I didn't have to find a new trial chamber at all to go ahead and actually get the heavy core, which I think is like a 4% drop or something, which is crazy because Crazy Savage, another person on the server, also got it. The first open of an ominous trial, they got it, which is crazy. Then we went ahead and named ours the No Stick. It has Density 5, Unbreaking 3, pretty much everything you want, except it only has Windburst 1, because that was the most we could find kind of deal. So, now we have that, which is pretty cool. Then we went ahead and decided to do a raid, so we got Strength 2 and Resist 2 with the 2 beacons that we have. And we wanted to mostly try it on Ravengers, the No Stick. So we went ahead and also got some breeze balls, or whatever they're called, wind charges, and started up the raid. It went okay. We didn't really use the mace that much, though, because it's a little bit awkward to use against a lot. And then we got a little bit pranked, as you might notice. I just, logged in. This is a day or 2 after the last clip, and my house is now covered in obsidian. Well, not the entire thing, just the entryway, which I think is a little bit goofy. And it also had a sign on it that said, "From Winter Goblins." Now, I believe that MC was the one who pranked me, mainly because I don't think anybody else on the server has this much crying obsidian, and because we did find a lot in the bastion, and I gave him quite a bit also, 7 pieces or something. I believe that he's the only person who would have this much crying obsidian, And thus I decided, well, he trapped me in my house, so I'm going to trap him in his farm, where he is AFK. Admittedly, he is in copper, and I think he has like an iron pickaxe, so this might have been painful for him, but I think it was slightly funny. Now, how I said it was like a day or two after the last clip, we also went ahead and checked shop again, and we got like 25 diamonds, which is pretty cool. Now, since MC said he wants to do PvP on the server for like an event or something, I decided to make some end crystals because they're busted. So I went ahead and made a stack of them by farming up tons of ender pearls, blaze powder, and glass. The glass is really expensive. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, the gas tier's not that difficult to get. The ender pearls, well, they're pretty easy once you have access to the end. But, getting that glass is painful. Now, if you remember me talking about having obsidian in that chest where we kept all of the end loot, this is why, because we went ahead and deconstructed most of this pillar. I want to say we deconstructed about a third of it, using like a haste beacon just because it was fast. And then we went ahead and put it at the very bottom, so that way the Ender Dragon wouldn't destroy the beacon base, or the beacon, because that would suck. And then we did initially plan on mining out the entire pillar, but then we only mined out a third of it, and we had, I kid you not, 9 stacks of obsidian, more than what I wanted, or needed. I didn't realize how much obsidian's in those pillars, like holy cow. And then we went ahead and resummoned the dragon, so that way it would resummon the pillar, as you can see right there. And then we... I found it funny how it died, like, not even over the nest at all. I just figured I should share that. And then we went ahead and fought this Wither with Crazy Savage, because, well, he wanted to go ahead and fight the Wither, and, well, I also wanted to fight the Wither. And then we went ahead and just kind of bullied it out of existence here. Just critting it out with strength 2, which just absolutely destroyed it. I don't even think that Crazy Savage got a single hit in second phase. I think I did all of that. Honestly, I think I killed the Wither for the most part, but since it was his goals, he gets the, whatchamacallit, the Nether Star. I don't know why I always want to say Wither Star, but it's the Nether Star. Anyways, point being, so he went ahead and got his Wither Star, but then I also had 3 skulls and 3 soul sand. It's why I was asking people who wants to fight the Wither. So then we went ahead and fought it again. I gave him like 2 instant health potions and a strength potion. We have the resistance 2 beacon up. I still have my regen beacon and stuff. So yeah, we're pretty set on killing this one. Also. And then I decided to just bully it again, splashed myself with strength, and then, although Crazy Savage actually did bully it quite a bit, he did about, what, like, half its health in second phase, but then we just kind of 3-shotted it, which is pretty fun. I did have to warn him that it will explode, and then he still didn't get, like, far enough away from it. As you can see, he did get tagged a little bit from that. Hopefully he knows how big the radius is now. And then I was just checking out Lawless Bacon's base, and I noticed like the nether bricks. I'm not sure if this is like a weird texture thing, but it looks like almost like a fog effect on his roof, which really matches the vibe of having like a wizard tower kind of deal. Then we went ahead and we wanted some Dragon's Breath, mainly because I wanted to sell it in the shop, but after I realized how difficult it is to get on Bedrock Edition, I don't want to sell the stuff unless I'm making good money off of it. Because, did you know, like, you can only get like 12 bottles on the fireballs, and you can only get like freaking 10 when it's perched. I'm pretty sure on Java Edition you can still get as many as you want unless they changed it, and I just don't know. But on Bedrock Edition, like, watch, I get 10 bottles, and then the Dragon's Breath just magically goes away, which is kind of stupid in my opinion, and this took a lot longer to get 9 stacks of Dragon's Breath. Now, Savage sold us some sand, which is nice. I think we spent like 2 diamonds each stack of sand, which is honestly, in my opinion, worth it. But I realized I gave him 11 diamonds and I needed to give him 12 because, once again, super stack. I didn't realize that I accidentally gave him 11, but so I got an extra diamond and went and put it in one of his chests. And then you can see real time me actually focusing on college. As you can see, I haven't played nearly as much on the server as I once maybe did. Actually, I haven't played that much, but still somehow I'm doing ridiculous things. Bwahaha! And then I decided I wanted to go ahead and make a wither farm here, except, haha, funny, I did eventually move it because this is in the middle of, like, so much land, and trust me, I tried to slab everything off, and that took way too long story short. So we did go ahead and mine all of that out, and then we also did start slabbing around the place and everything. You already know this is not going to be like my permanent one, but I did use it temporarily to get a couple of wither skulls, and we did expand it further from this. Now we went ahead and skipped ahead quite a bit, but as you can see, I got a lot of the nether fortress flattened out. I got slabs pretty much everywhere, all except for, if you notice, there's another roof above me. Yeah, no, that's not the roof. That has another like landmass on top of it. But as you can see, I slabbed off a lot of the nether. Pretty much all of the fortress that was nearby too. And once again, my plan was to make a wither skeleton farm. I did eventually make one, but it was just not here. But I just figured I should show this, because this took a long time to do. We also expanded the amount that we did over on the Crimson Forest side, and we even did some up top. And the rates weren't even that bad. As you can see, we got plenty of wither skeletons. Although all of the spawns weren't concentrated on the small spawning platform, because once again we didn't slab off absolutely everything, they were pretty concentrated nonetheless. As you can see, we are getting wither skeletons left, right, and center kind of deal. And all you have to do is really run around a little bit. You get some blazes, you get some wither skeletons. It's not too half bad. Actually got enough scores to make another wither pretty fast because of this. It was definitely better than what I was doing beforehand. And then we went ahead and started scouting out nether fortresses on a creative test board. As you can see, I found this one. I was like, oh, you know, there's not going to be too much to slab off. And I actually had a great idea, since a lot of those seem to be very thin, of just using some TNT to blow the blocks away, so then I don't even have to spawn proof the blocks, because there's no blocks for them to spawn on. But I'm just showing you this so you get an idea of like all of the blocks I blew up and stuff. Ideally, I said that it would be right there, as there's a lot of nether fortress hallways right there. But I don't feel like spawn proofing all of that off, so instead we're just going to do it over the lava lake. Bridges are also not very good on Bedrock Edition, since they don't have as many spawn areas, but I did find 2 bridges also over like a lava lake, which would have been great for Java Edition, let me tell you. Now, the fun thing is this is actually also a double blaze spawner right here, which is kind of stupid that this nether fortress literally has frick everything. I don't even know what to say. And then we use creative mode to basically figure out where the wither skeletons spawn. If you want to see a detailed way of figuring this out, watch Silent Whisperer. He has an entire video on this farm. I'm using that design. We have the glass, so that way zombie pigmen don't spawn. The wither roses make where only wither skeletons and zombie pigmen spawn, because, well, the glass only wither skeletons will spawn. You get the point. Anyways, so we mapped out exactly where they spawn, because in Bedrock Edition they don't spawn everywhere, they only spawn in specific locations, yada yada. Anyways, yes, if you want a detailed explanation, watch Silent Whisperer. So, yeah, we're mapping out the distance that they would be able to detect a piglin from, so that way I can figure out where to build the farm, and which, like, spawn areas are viable, I guess. Now, I should say I didn't fully spawn-proof this off for my test bench, but as you can see, there's pretty decent rates of these wither skeletons, so I'm not going to complain too much. We got pretty good with, like, skull count, too, eventually. I AFK'd for, like, 10 minutes or something, and I got a decent amount of skulls. Now, originally, I was just going to fly over there, but while I was flying over there, I found a bastion pretty close by. As you can see, this is pretty close to 0-0, and it was a bridge bastion, which means we get the, however many gold blocks it is from the pig head. Initially, I thought it was the original one that we actually looted, but it is not. And then, we went ahead and found it. Well, it is a decent ways away, but there is a straightforward path from the nether portal to here, which is pretty nice, so we don't have to do any digging. I said we don't have to, but we should probably make like an ice bow over here sometime or something. So then I went ahead and set up shop and started doing my stuff. This is kind of like a large cut, but we went ahead and got the piglin. As you can see, we made a slab bridge so nothing would spawn on it. And we're getting all of the wither skeletons spawning. We didn't install a trident killer yet, but as you can see, we're getting pretty decent wither skeleton spawn rates, which is pretty good, honestly. But as you can see, there's lots of stone swords, and even when we make like a trident killer and we fully automate this, yeah, no, we still get a bunch of stone swords. It's kind of stupid. Speaking of which, we actually did bring the trident killers, so now we'll go ahead and set it up and everything, and now we get the AFK farm with all of the stuff. And then we also went ahead and AFK'd for a bit, and voila, we got 25 skulls, which is pretty swick. Except there's actually more. And also, we only AFK'd for like a little bit. And okay, never mind, there is only 25 skulls. But anyways, we only AFK'd for a little bit, and that's how we got 25 skulls. And when I say a little bit, I mean like 20 minutes or something, maybe. And then we went ahead and AFK'd for even a little bit longer. And we now have 28. We also did find some bastions, you might have noticed, while we're going back and forth, which is why we have some snout pattern patterns and stuff. And then we ended up AFKing for even a little bit longer than that, and now we have 36 skulls, wow, and like 4 snout pattern patterns, which is pretty swick. And we also have 6 netherite, which is also pretty cool. And then we AFK'd for even a little bit longer after that, and we got a stack in 15. And then we also went ahead and we found like the bedrock wither killer cheese, as you can see. Though sometimes they do blow up the skulls, and then they blow up the skulls, as in they blow up the item skull, which means we only got 25 nether stars from the stack in 15. Technically it was 14 because I didn't take the one out of the chest, but we're going to ignore that fact. Point being, I think we lost some potential for some beacons, but who cares? We make so many skulls, I'm not even going to lie to you. Then we went ahead and made a shulker box and did a couple of raids with our newfound beacons of glory. And we went ahead and got an entire shulker box full of of totems, and then another shulker box full of totems. Like, I think we're set for a while on totems, if you ask me. And then we're a generous god, and we gave everybody 1 free totem. As you can see, we gave them a totem. We also got some efficiency 3 books that I didn't want, so I went ahead and just threw them into random boxes. But yeah. And then we went ahead and threw all of our netherite gear into that box, and all of the bastion stuff there. And if you look to the left, you would have sold the fully enchanted netherite stuff. Yes, that stuff is fully enchanted. And then we went ahead and enchanted some diamonds gear that we're planning on giving to the Irish guy, Miabib, once he gets back. Of course, for a little bit of a price. We did this with MC also, since he keeps wearing iron gear, like his life depends on having iron gear on. So, yeah, we got Feather Falling 4, which is really nice since we can put pretty much every other book on besides Feather Falling 4. And thus, yeah, we're set. And we also got a Fortune and 2 Efficiency 4s, so, which is pretty cool too. So, yeah. And here's a little bit of a preview of the box. As you can see, we got a few things. He said he liked the color green, so I said, sure, why not? He is Irish, and I saw the opportunity to use green, so yeah. Anyways, we went ahead and gave him 4 end crystals, a beacon, all of this stuff. We're charging 40 diamonds from him. We'll also go give him an elytra, as you can see, since Bree did take a different elytra, not the one with their name on it. We'll go ahead and name this one Leprechaun Wings. Now we got the levels. We went ahead and got him Leprechaun Wings, just because I think it's funny. Ha ha ha. I'm so funny, him and I. So, anyways, yep, there you go. That's gonna be like, oh, you've been gone for a while box kind of deal. And we went ahead and did trade deal this box for 40 diamonds by me. And honestly, I think it's a pretty good trade for 40 diamonds. I would ask for like a stack of diamonds, but at the same time, they haven't been on the server too much. And then we went ahead and did PvP with Bree, which I think you might know how this is going to go. No offense to Bree, I'm just that good. Woo. Also, because I'm on computer and they are on a PlayStation. We did go ahead and do it a few times, though. So, we did fight them a second time, and I don't know why they always try to stay above me. I don't know if they know how, well, PvP works, where it's based off of your head and feet. Technoblade taught me that. But you know what they say, it's funnier the third time. Oh, so I do find it funny that they made it, but they're not good at it. Anyways, then Lightning FMC joined, and we talked for a little bit, and he basically refused to buy diamond gear because he thought it was going to be too much work to do it, so then I went ahead and just bought him some. Now, he did leave at this point in time, but still, I went ahead and did that. I don't know why he has so many wooden tools. It's kind of goofy, since stone is just better. Stone tools are just better. He also has two wood axes that will at like half durability. I don't know why, so I just combined them so I can fit that. And I stole 1 piece of dirt from him, so I guess 1 piece of dirt is how much his diamond gear costs. So congrats him. He now has some diamond gear. And then I went ahead and AFK'd for maybe an hour, maybe like 40 minutes or something. I got a stack of skulls plus like 40 extra, and then I also when I was looking through the chests, got 1 extra skull. Not really like, you know, groundbreaking stuff on that 1 extra skull with how many I have, but yeah, I did farm up some skulls. And then we AFK'd for a little bit longer, and you might notice that we now have 2 stacks of skulls plus a little bit extra. And then I actually got 3 stacks of skulls, but I never showed that in recording, I realized, or the recording, like, corrupted or something. And as you might notice, we only had 51 nether stars and not a stack of nether stars, and that is because we blew up so many skulls trying to place so many withers into this wither killer. Since you can stack as many withers as you want, but every once in a while a stray shot or 2 will hit where you're trying to spawn the withers, and it's kind of goofy. If you want to see how to do this wither killer, go to Silent Whisperer's wither killer thing. Anyways, point being, some of the skulls blew up, so we only got 51 stars from 3 stacks of skulls. So then we went ahead, of course, made some beacons. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. Pretty slick, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. We do have some extra Wither Skeleton skulls and stuff. But we do also have now over a stack of beacons. Because we also already have like 50 something. We're also going through the obsidian like crazy, as you can see. We used a lot more obsidian than I thought we were going to use. Which is... yeah, no, that's kind of crazy. If you ask me how much obsidian we've used just for beacons alone. as you can see, we have a stack plus 20, and then I just decided to store the extra 20 inside of here just because I don't have any more places to put them. Now, this is just kind of some B-roll footage of me fighting the Wither. If you guys haven't watched me do this, then, well, go check that out. The video is already up. It's been up for a while, actually, so I presume you guys might have seen it already. But, well, I didn't really do too much on. I killed a bunch of Withers. I killed the Ender Dragon a couple of times. I mined a lot. You know, actually, I did quite a bit. Not as much as I probably would have been able to do if I wasn't, like, focusing on school, which is... Now that I'm saying that, I realize how stupid that sounds. Just like, oh yeah, you know, I just killed the Wither like 100 times, and I also killed the Ender Dragon like a couple of times too, and I did this and I did that, but, if I had more time, I would have done more. Yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed at least, and have a good one.